You have to rate Daniel. Obviously, he's a very, very, very good fighter. Obviously, to his career that he's had so far. But I feel like when me and him meet, it's going to be a different story. It's just a matter of time.
And I wouldn't have liked to saw either of them because I think the pair of those are past the best.
Didn't you, if they said to you, April, May, it's Dubois, or April, May, it's Usyk, you say immediately yes?
Of course.
No
I would be silly not to take that, because I would end up in a better position taking.
Moses isn't wasting a second before even stepping into the ring with Dillian Whyte. He's already calling out Daniel Dubois. And why not? Dubois buckled under the pressure against Usyk, while Moses openly talks about matching Usyk's skill and endurance. That's real confidence, landing verbal jabs while setting the stage for two massive scalps back-to-back.
We're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him. But I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of fight.
Moses Itauma understands exactly what those championship rounds demand, and he's upfront about chasing that kind of experience. As he said before, you've shown what it takes to stand at the top, but I believe I have the ability to match and even exceed that level. That's not hollow talk. That's a young fighter laying down the blueprint for greatness.
Yeah, we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him. But I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of.
With every call-out and every round fought, Moses moves another step closer to backing up his words under the bright lights. Adam Smith rates Moses Itauma highly, yet still stops short of ranking him above Usyk or Dubois. For now, that's fine, because Moses isn't rushing. He's building, learning, and sharpening. And when that day arrives, Dubois won't just be edged out, he'll be taken apart.
When is he ready? I think he could beat most heavyweights in the world, with the exception possibly of Usyk and maybe Dubois, possibly AJ. The top 3 or 4, he's not ready for them yet.
Here's where Carl Frampton's perspective adds another layer to the discussion. Frampton can talk up Dubois all he wants, but better than before still isn't enough when you've already shown the world you can fold under fire. Dangerous, absolutely, until the going gets tough. And that's exactly when Moses Itauma will tear him to pieces. Dubois has faced pressure before, but he's never faced Moses-level pressure. This wouldn't just be a defeat, it would be destruction.
Was certainly a much more dangerous fighter than he was, so he does have a chance to win the fight. But in saying that, I've backed against Usyk a couple of times, and specifically the Fury fights.
When even Alexander Usyk rates you at just 20 years old, you're not simply promising, you're a threat. Moses carries the speed, the accuracy, and the kind of concussive power that makes heavyweights rethink their career choices. Dubois has already crumbled once under Usyk's shots. So what happens when Moses connects clean? That won't be a boxing match. It'll be target practice.
My name is Itauma. Moses Itauma. I think he's a great fighter. The young, 20 years, yeah?
20.
Yeah, 20 years. I think Itauma have big future.
Peter Fury isn't the type to throw compliments around. Yet here he is, calling Moses Itauma a fabulous young talent who ticks all the boxes. Speed, power, toughness, heart. It may be early days, but the destruction Moses has already unleashed speaks volumes. His opponents aren't just losing, they're being broken down in a way that leaves no doubt about his ceiling. This is a fighter who turns the ring into a hunting ground, stalking prey, setting traps, and detonating with precision. Dubois might think size is his advantage, but power means nothing if you can't handle the pace and pinpoint accuracy coming back at you. The real examination, as Fury notes, will arrive when Moses meets the elite. But at the rate things are going, Dubois could end up as nothing more than a stepping stone in Moses's march to the top.
He's got speed, he's got power, he's tough, he's game, he ticks all the boxes so far. So let's see, again, he's young, he's not really been tested because what he's doing to these opponents. So let's see, it's early days, but a big future for him.
Mark Tibbs talks about Dubois being in a great place and a big, natural heavyweight. But we've heard that story before, haven't we? We heard it before Usyk broke him down both mentally and physically. Yes, Dubois has size. Yes, he's capable. But capability means little against someone like Moses Itauma, who blends youth, fearlessness, and skill into one lethal package. Moses doesn't just rely on raw power. His ring IQ lets him dismantle an opponent's belief before they even realize it's gone. Dubois may have regained some confidence, but confidence can vanish in a single round when a faster, sharper heavyweight keeps landing flush. Tibbs might back Dubois to win, but he's betting on physical traits over mental steel, and we've already seen which one collapses when the pressure spikes.
I feel he knows, and he's grown in confidence since that. I mean, he's in a great place, Dubois, and he can win that fight. He's a big, natural heavyweight.
As Tony Bellew points out, the true kings of the division choose their own battles, and Moses is gunning for that throne.
Bellew makes it clear, in the heavyweight game, there's a king, and the rest are just chasing him. That's the reality Dubois faced, and failed to conquer, when he had his shot at Usyk.
But here's where Moses Itauma is different.
He's not stepping in with the king just for a payday. He's coming to take the crown. His mindset is locked on climbing past these so-called big names by dismantling them one at a time. Dubois might be desperate for redemption after his loss, but Moses is stacking momentum, respect, and fear before even hitting his mid-20s.
Bellew's point about fighters chasing the king works both ways, because if Moses keeps winning, he won't be the one doing the chasing. Dubois, and everyone else, will be lining up just to share the spotlight with him.
After the fight,
these guys are begging now for the pay because we know who the king is.
That's right.
And these guys need him. He doesn't need them. Alexander Usyk can choose to fight whoever he wants. He is now the draw in the heavyweight division. He is the big name.
Frank Warren's comments after Dubois's loss to Usyk told the whole story: disappointment, lessons to learn, and the harsh truth that time is running out. At 27, Dubois is no longer the fresh young heavyweight with endless years ahead. Meanwhile, Moses Itauma, 7 years younger, is already showing the composure, skill, and mindset to dominate at the elite level. Dubois might get a shot at a comeback, but that road runs straight into the most dangerous young contender in the division. Learning from losses is one thing. Surviving Moses's pressure, speed, and precision is something else entirely. Frank's tone almost feels protective, as if Dubois still needs nurturing. Moses doesn't. He's already talking about dethroning Usyk and tearing through the top contenders.
When the two meet, it won't be a lesson for Moses. It'll be a ruthless reminder for Dubois.
Daniel's obviously very disappointed. He's in the dressing room at the moment, and if he's going to come back, he's got to learn from it. He's only 27.
When Joe Rogan calls a fighter next level, it's not just hype. He's seen every style, every overblown prospect, and every genuine article pass through the fight game, and Moses Itauma has him convinced. This isn't just about throwing punches. It's about how Moses makes opponents look lost before the real damage even begins. His movement isn't flashy for show, it's calculated, built to make bigger men like Dubois swing at shadows until they gas out. Those angles? They're why Moses lands clean while staying completely out of danger. The feints, little psychological jabs that chip away at confidence. Dubois may be a big natural heavyweight, but when that frame is chasing a ghost, he'll burn through his tank twice as fast.
Rogan's right. We're about to see a new version of Moses in his next fight.
And if Dubois is standing across from him, it could turn ugly in a hurry.
So he's got just unbelievable movement. His angles, the way he boxes, his fucking feints and movement, total next level.
When a respected voice like Gareth A. Davies calls a fighter fascinating, it's more than casual praise. It's a signal that Moses Itauma is turning heads among those who eat, sleep, and breathe the sport. Ringside talk isn't just about who's winning today, it's about who's going to rule tomorrow. And in those conversations, Moses's name keeps surfacing. He's got that rare blend of charisma, raw talent, and a dangerous fighting style that makes promoters, trainers, and journalists lean forward in their seats. Francis Warren, feeling the buzz at Ringside, says it all. The hype isn't coming from one corner. It's building from every direction. Meanwhile, Dubois's name isn't spoken with the same excitement. It's followed by, can he bounce back? Instead of, can anyone stop him? That's the gap. Moses is the fighter people are eager to see tested. Dubois is the one they're wondering if he can still pass a test at all.
Boxing world wanting to go there because Moses Itauma is fascinating. I spoke to Francis Warren ringside on Saturday night. You had a microphone as well. Were you allowed to put the pressure on them to speak? Because I just did anyway.
Then there's Spencer Oliver, already mapping out how Moses's rise will unfold.
Oliver doesn't just believe Moses can beat Dubois. He believes he can beat him in style.
And in boxing, winning and winning in style are two very different achievements. Winning in style means controlling every exchange, imposing your will, and making a so-called dangerous opponent look ordinary. If Moses does that to Dubois, the shockwaves will be immediate. Overnight, he'd shift from promising prospect to the heavyweight no one wants to face. Oliver's prediction that Moses will win a world title isn't wishful thinking. It's based on seeing how calm, calculated, and ruthless he is inside the ropes. Dubois was once tipped as a future champion, but the reality is he's already had his chance, and came up short. Moses's climb isn't about handing out second chances. It's about taking his own. If Oliver's right, we're not just seeing a future champion, we're seeing a new benchmark for what a heavyweight should be.
Everything, because he knows it's last chance saloon for him. He needs the victory here. So, look, we find out just how good Moses Itauma is, I think, on the 16th of August when he boxes Dillian Whyte, because I think he wins it and wins it in style. But everyone they put in front of him so far, he's just dismantled. I think this kid's going to go on and win.
This isn't just another heavyweight fight. It's a clash between two careers moving in opposite directions. Moses Itauma, just 20 years old, is the young lion tearing through anyone placed in front of him. Fearless enough to call out Daniel Dubois before even dealing with Dillian Whyte. Dubois, meanwhile, is still shadowed by the night Usyk broke him down. That natural heavyweight label now feels more like a burden than a weapon. If Moses wins, he launches himself straight into the conversation with the division's elite, proving his speed, power, and ring IQ aren't just hype, but a nightmare for anyone at the top. If Dubois pulls off the upset, it's redemption, but he'll have to endure the kind of relentless, precise assault he's never weathered before. Mentally, Moses is sharper. Physically, he's quicker. And when it comes to hunger, just look at who's been chasing the fight. This is more than bragging rights. It's a career-defining moment. So the question is simple. Are you backing Moses Itauma to claim another scalp on his way to the crown, or do you believe Daniel Dubois can shock the world? Drop your thoughts in the comments.